We all know first impressions are lasting impressions. This was me when I was 10 years old. Think of the first impressions that people had of me. I can remember being in the 5th grade, walking down the hall as the 2nd grade class laughed and screamed at the sight of me. That day, at a young age, I had a choice to make. I could hold my head down, I could cry, I could run away, or I could hold my head up and step forward. I chose to step forward that day, even though deep down inside I was dying. I was dying because that 10-year-old girl, all she wanted was to fit in and to be normal and to look like everyone else. But people's reaction and the world let me know that I didn't look normal and that I didn't fit in. And it left me feeling broken and defeated. I was born with a bilateral cleft lip and palate. Being born with this facial difference, I understand the challenges that come with having a facial difference, whether it be from birth, illness, injury, accident. In fact, today in the US, 600,000 individuals identify as having a facial difference. And depending on the severity of the facial difference, the corrective surgery can just be a one-time simple fix. Or the interventions can lead to multiple surgeries that span across years, even a lifetime. And you know what? 32 states have the right to refuse or deny coverage for the medically necessary procedures and services that medical providers have deemed necessary. They say it's cosmetic. That doesn't look cosmetic to me. Imagine that an insurance company, not the doctor, has the right to say whether a child gets their initial surgery, which mostly they will give them that. But those building block surgeries, the surgeries that would really make a difference in someone's facial appearance, they refuse, deny, and again say, it's merely cosmetic. In my case, I had my first surgery when I was an infant to correct my lip. As I mentioned, I also have a bilateral cleft palate. Anyone here like peanut butter? Okay, we like peanut butter. You know how it gets stuck on the roof of your mouth? Imagine eating peanut butter when you have no palate. It had to be corrected. Also, because of my palate, I could not be breastfed or eat properly. So at the age of 5, I had corrective surgery for my palate. But then after that, I needed extensive speech therapy so that way I could stand before you today. And I know my speech therapist is out there somewhere, so proud that I can say, Sally sold shells on the seashore. That is a huge one for me. But after I had the corrective surgery for my palate, that 10-year-old girl that you see, she needed to have a bone graft so that way I could have reconstructive jaw surgery. And then it was time for the rhinoplasties. And as my mom says, that's where the real fight began. My parents had to fight the insurance company, had to fight them for coverage. Sometimes they won, and sometimes they lost, meaning that they had to pay for my surgeries out of pocket. Because again, they said that it wasn't medically necessary. that it was merely cosmetic. For my first rhinoplasty, the insurance did cover it, but my mother has told me the story of how she had to fight for over a year to get them to do my second rhinoplasty because I could not breathe. And do you know what they said? It wasn't medically necessary. I could not breathe. And even if I could breathe, how can you say that it is not medically necessary and that it's merely cosmetic when the sociological feeling of feeling different is so enormous? That's more than just being cosmetic. It's life-changing. The insurance company has the power to change lives, but that's not medically necessary, is it? On September 19th, me and 175 other supporters from 10 facial difference backgrounds had the honor and pleasure of going to Washington, D.C. and holding 150 legislative meetings asking that this be changed. Now, you would think standing on the stairs of the Capitol with all the other supporters would be the most impactful moment of that day, right? It's the stairs of the Capitol. No, it wasn't. It was hearing a grandmother advocating for her 7-year-old granddaughter who was losing her teeth due to her congenital abnormality. Her teeth. Do you know what this little girl asked Santa for Christmas? Her teeth. What do you say to that when that's the one thing that she wanted? Imagine going on your first date, going for an interview, going to school, all of the many things that we take for granted without your teeth because the insurance company said it was merely cosmetic. Or what about those adults who in their childhood had corrective surgeries, but through the years have needed continuation of care? Like Teresa, age 63, who had to pay $50,000 out of pocket for her dental work because of her cleft. Or Kyle, now age 28, who aged out of his parents' insurance plan before he could get his last corrective surgery. His new insurance, you know what they're saying, it's merely cosmetic and it's not medically necessary. So now Kyle cannot have his last rhinoplasty surgery. Or what about me? You see, I failed to mention, not only was I born with a bilateral cleft palate, but it spread up to my eye, leaving me blind in my left eye. For a sense of normalcy, I wear a corrective lens. Insurance does not cover all of it. So I have to pay $300 per lens per year since I was 17. I'm now 35. Imagine ruining your credit, mortgaging your home, foregoing college just so you can cover a surgery that you or your child needs. Or what if you do have coverage and your child is up for that last surgery and you get an opportunity for your dream job? But if you take the job, your child would no longer have coverage. What do? America has a problem because unfortunately that is the life that many live today. But there is hope. I believe that there is always hope. And that is in ELSA. No, not Elsa from Frozen, but the Ensuring Lasting Smiles Act. This is a bipartisan piece of legislation that not if, when passed, will mandate that the insurance companies provide quality care for the medically necessary procedures that have been deemed necessary by the providers. It will cover services also for all ages of facial differences. It will place the ownership of determining what is medically necessary back into the hands of the providers, not the insurance company. Thank you.